Number 5, we start switching gears to radicals. Remember, you can only take the square root of a perfect square. The perfect squares are when you square 1 and square 2 and square 3. So 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 2 is 4, 3 times 3 is 9, 4 times 4 is 16. These are the perfect squares, and that's what you can take the square root of. Also, with variables, they're only perfect squares if they have even exponents. So all even exponents are perfect squares. All you have to do is take half of the exponent. Now remember, don't apply this rule for numbers. You can't take half of 20 and bring it out as a 10. You can only take the square root of perfect squares and even exponents. So 20 is not one of my perfect squares, but I can separate 20 into two numbers that multiply to get it if one of them is a perfect square. Well, 1's not going to be helpful. 1 times 20 is not helpful. I can take the square root of 1, but I still am left with a 20. That didn't help at all. But 4 times 5 is 20. So underneath the radical, I haven't taken a square root yet. I'm going to replace 20 with 4 times 5. X to the 12th I don't need to rewrite because it's an even exponent. So it's a perfect square as it is. So I'm going to circle my perfect squares, which is the 4 and the x to the 12th. And I'm going to take the square root of them when I bring them out. Don't bring that out as a 4. The square root of 4 is 2, because 2 times 2 is 4. The square root of x to the 12th, even exponents just take half of the exponent. Half of 12 is 6, so that becomes x to the 6th. Now remember, I wasn't just taking half of 4. I was finding the number that I can multiply by itself and get 4. It just so happens that it's also half of 4, so be careful with that. What's ever not circled is going to stay under the radical, so that 5 is stuck. So for instance, if that had been a 9, I don't take half of 9 and bring it out. The square root of 9 is 3. Square root of 16 is 4. Square root of 25 is 5, and so on. So take the square roots, bring them out. What's stuck is still under the radical.